We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Let me get my office set up properly so my lighting could be good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do it like this, right? Do y'all think Iran? Hold on. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna get into it. Yeah, let me get into it. Yeah. I think I'm ready. Yeah, let's do this. All right. Just like the thumbnail say, do y'all think Iran is becoming a global superpower? I know that the U.S. didn't expect what they expected when they decided to invade, attack, or whatever you want to call it, with this country over here. Those people not playing. They feel like they're fighting for their survival of existence, meaning that they're fighting to the end. They're fighting to the end. They trying to let it be known that they not going for whatever it is that the U.S. and Israel is coming their way. And I'm gonna break it down to the people who understand life the way I understand life. And most people who look like me could care less about the war because it's not gonna stop them from doing what they gotta do anyway. But just to touch on this subject because this is a hot topic and an important time in history, we go see how the U.S. look going forward, or see how the U.S. is looked at after this war with Iran. They did not expect those people to fight the way they're fighting, and they're showing that they are capable of defending and retaliating and causing a pain in the economy. That's the makings of a global superpower if I don't see one myself. Now you could believe Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, and they could project a narrative that is different from what's really going on. What's up? What's up? You can see that is you when you watch different news clips from other countries, they go give a different perspective. I listen to Fox, I listen to all the other ones, but I listen to other countries also to get a broader perspective on how they viewing us in this country. And to be honest, I believe it's going to look bad when it's all said and done. But back to the proof that Iran is on its way to be a global superpower. They already control like over 20% of the raw oil, and they have bully style alliances. I'm gonna say it like this: they like the U.S. of the Gulf states of the Middle East. They like the U.S. Israel want to be that, but they not, regardless, because they not prepared to fight how Iran is prepared to fight, and they have a huge population and a high percentage of their citizens will be ready to go to war also. Besides controlling the Strait of Hormuz, having the capabilities to return fire and retaliate when struck upon, they also have the support of their people because they've been fighting for years, for decades, for centuries. That's how long they go back. So the fact that they had the capability to withstand and the capability to do what they're doing, you have to recognize them as a young global superpower in the making. And I know that that's the truth. You can go in different directions with this and say that the U.S. is going to cripple them, but that's not happening. Iran is there to fight, just like Benjamin Netanyahu been wishing for this war for 47 years or 37 years, how many years he been ready for this war. Iran been preparing to fight the U.S. since probably the early 2000s or even longer. What's up? What's up, man? Nah, I ain't Snoop, but yeah, hit the like and subscribe to my channel. Back to what I was breaking down with Iran being a superpower, man. You gotta see that they even critique the U.S. on the world stage when they been having conflict with the U.S. in the 80s when they let go the black hostages and told them the black hostages didn't have a choice but to fight because they're already being oppressed in this country, and this country is very hypocritical. Iran been on that. They've been, to be honest with you, they probably been waiting to jump down and get it in with U.S., but they didn't want to start stuff. So you got to understand that this total one-sided white power structure is crumbling before our very eyes. We just got to be steadfast and see what's going on. But that's another subject for another time. But back to the subject at hand. Look at how much money this war is costing United States citizens every day. So think about that and how much the U.S. is spending to knock down their drones and how much the Iron Dome got kinks in it. And then Iran is using hypersonic missiles. Iran is using those special bombs that got all those inlets in it that's causing major damage. I've been doing my research. I've been checking out CNN, MSNBC, Al Jazeera, uh, what's the one, the UK one? You know which one I'm talking about, and also a couple other ones from the Middle East, and also I've been doing a little Google also, but I like to get the information from the people delivering the message so I could really look through their soul when they delivering the message to see if they being sincere or see how it's going on. But you could understand that this war, just like in the coming time, Donald Trump go say that the war is over, but Israel go keep trying to put their foot on the people's neck because Israel got a different plan and a different agenda than the U.S. have. Israel, they trying to have a greater Israel that stretch all the way through Africa, North Africa, parts of Egypt, stuff like that. So Iran ain't going for none of that. They go be like the war daddy for all the Gulf states. They go pledge their allegiance to Iran soon. I guarantee that. And China go deal with Iran. India go deal with Iran. Russia already cool with Iran. Man, they might even be dealing with what is it, North Korea, whatever was one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you see what's in the making. You don't have to be a political analyst. You don't have to be a, a scholar. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world to understand that the U.S. bit off more than they could chew with this war that they choose to participate in with Israel. You you could just really pay attention between the lines and see the narrative they always trying to push. And head staff, the Secretary of Defense in the Department of War, he got in his investment company investing billions into defense companies. Trump staff, a lot of his hired staff are ex CEOs from defense companies that sell high stake defense materials, supplies, everything in the whole realm of it. So Israel pushed U.S. Of course, everybody know that we got that established, but the the sleeper, the blind one that people didn't see coming, that Israel, I mean that Iran, they came to fight. Iran came to fight. It's like they've been waiting on this. They've been preparing. They've been like, yeah, I wish the U.S. would. So they taking a lot more L's in the body, but since we the high and powerful almighty U.S., we supposed to be the ones that's able to just go in and bully and do what we're supposed to do and want to do to people, but it didn't happen. And those people are in Tehran, that's the capital of Iran. Them people there strategically coming up with a plan, or basically they executing the plan that they been strategically came up with years ago, just sitting back waiting. You could read between all the lines. The truth is in all the news clips. You just got to watch them with an objective ear and a third eye open. But a lot of people don't look at it like that. They just feed into what's being told to them and don't question it and just say if they saying it in the news, it got to be true. Or if Trump's saying it, it got to be true and all that type of stuff. They gonna say that we won this war. We didn't win because none of our objectives was reached. They go claim that it was a regime change, and it's not a regime change because the sun is there, and they say the sun is more treacherous than the dad. But I don't know to call them that because I don't know any of them. But I know that Iran is showing they not just participating or they not just taking blows on the chin and about to get knocked out. No, they throwing punches back. They hitting you with left hooks and all that. They coming like a a, a worthy opponent. The U.S. didn't expect that. They didn't expect the somebody that came willing to fight and go low and go different directions. Come on, you see the the what's the guy that just resigned and now they on a smear campaign with him? The some law, you know who I'm talking about. I don't have to have the 1,000% details of of the picture that's painted, but you hear that I'm connecting these dots and figuring out between what's not being said. And I hope y'all could subscribe and keep this type of energy going because I'm gonna keep dropping the real. I ain't gonna let up. I'm gonna read between these lines. I'm gonna study these people, and then I'm gonna give my take on what I believe and what I see, what's happening, and what's going on out here. And it don't have to personally affect my life, but it's affecting my pockets because I'm going to the gas station too many times. $40 not filling up the tank no more. And and Trump ran an election on drill. We use our own natural resources and all that type of stuff. When they knew we was going to war, they knew they should have had those natural resources already being used because they know that war go always affect the gas price, even when it's not affecting the Gulf state. Any time it's war, it's gonna affect the gas prices. It's gonna affect our whole livelihood because we don't know the outcome. We got our tax dollars being spent, our loved ones going and risk their life, and they don't know why they even fighting. A lot of the times, we just got to roll with the punches, but we taking L's on the international stage. That's the biggest part. We taking L's on the international stage. We don't have our stuff together with our own country. And then when all else fails, the US try to promote that they trying to be humanitarians for the rural and be the global leaders for the rural when they don't want to acknowledge that that the transatlantic slavery was was the gravest crime against humanity of all humanity. They don't want to accept that. So it's no way that the rest of the world take them serious, and they understand that it's not us, it's not the FBA, it's not none of the immigrants that's coming to the country. It's the white power structure thing that they could just run that old slavery playbook, but change races, change it to other nationalities, to people in other countries, and think it's going to work. And those people got whole countries backing them. It's not like the U.S. telling the Iran, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do y'all some favors." Nah, the U.S. is at the mercy right now because that move that they made for Israel, back in Israel, is costing. The the uh, the Iranian defense gave a statement that all the U.S. businesses are official targets over there. Any hotel, any hotel that's housing U.S. soldiers or U.S. constituents or anything like that, they targeted in those spots too. And it don't matter what country it's in over there. They done hit like 5 other countries. They done hit the UAE. They done hit uh, they done hit a Saudi tanker over there in the Saudi port. They reaching out. They done hit what that was. Uh, Dang, I forgot what country that was, but Iran bombing everything over there. They got the Strait on lock, and they gonna impose a tax on that because now it's a new day and time. Oh, if y'all want to y'all want to pass through, and y'all ain't American or y'all ain't Israeli or the allies of them, y'all good. But if y'all neutral and all that, y'all just pay this toll, and y'all shipments go get to y'all with no pressure, no problem. That's a global superpower. That's evidence. That's proof. Y'all got to give credit where credit due when you seeing somebody who knucking and bucking when the U.S. knew they're just gonna come and bully somebody and just think they're just gonna say, "Hey, we here, lay down." Nah, them people ain't laying down. Them people been waiting. People been waiting. And when what's crazy, other countries is waiting and looking and laughing, and then go join alliances with the power to just to show recognition that they only was down with the U.S. because of the power. Rolling with Rush, rolling with the crowd, rolling with the power, rolling with the people who got the ups. Nah, the U.S. already losing status as a global superpower or a global big brother or all that whatever in their mind what they thought when they was going and pillaging people and going and insert their own leaders and do the stuff what they did to other countries. All those countries, even Saddam Hussein was basically inserted by the U.S. when it was in the beginning. Man, it's so deep and so crazy how the U.S. ran its course. They ran its course because you can't keep playing the same song and having the same results and thinking you go run it on these people. You heard what Bob Marley said. You could fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So now we see the light. Stand up for your rights. I'm not being anti-American because my blood flowed deep in these American soil. But you got to call the truth the truth. You can't lie and sugarcoat it. These people came over there thinking that this shit was gonna be sweet, and it ain't. And now we paying. We paying. We dropping dollars at the gas pump when the administration of our leaders won the election on no wars, using natural resources, drill. We go drill off the coast of the Gulf of America. How that's working now? They say we got so much natural resources. We got so much oil. We got so much this, but I don't see none of that. I really don't see none of it. What I do see is a country at war that we losing, that we don't supposed to fight. So every American that die is dying really for no reason, but they go run that rhetoric that they dying for the country. They dying for freedom. Cause we don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Israel got a nuclear weapon, and the U.S. don't know how many they really have, because they didn't join the coalition to register their nuclear weapons in the nuclear program. Israel not a member of it. Iran is though. Iran participated in it. They like, look, you ain't got none. You ain't gonna find ours anyway. I don't know, but just look at the outcome of what's going on and what's happening. It ain't hard to recognize that we losing this. Iran getting points off us. They getting points off us like what happened in Vietnam. Even though Vietnam suffered after that because that regime that the U.S. was fighting for and all that. I don't know the details. Forget all. I ain't gonna get into Vietnam, but I know that we ain't win that war. But I'm focusing on Iran. They standing up to us and kicking our ass back. You get where I'm coming from? I can't get it to you no other way. I can't sugarcoat it. And all the people that's sticking in with this, you hear where I'm coming from. You understand the truth is the truth. But do me a favor though, hit that like button for me though. Yeah, even if you ain't subscribed, you even gotta hit the like button. Just vibing and on what we talking about and the subject at hand, which is a lot of truths. Maybe I got a heavy opinion and I'm good at cutting through a lot of the BS, but maybe the U.S. is giving too much clout to these people thinking they can just run over there and do what they want to do. But that's gonna be my time today. I'm gonna end this live, but now I really want you to subscribe at the end though. Shoot me a subscribe. Shoot me a like. Let me give a shout out to. Oh boy, look at here, my eyes closed right now. I'm on cloud 28 right now. Hey, now you see why I had the sunglasses on, huh? You know what I'm saying? You heard Afro Man said, "Cause I got high, because I got high." Now, shout out to that boy there on his victory too. Shouts out to the victors, all the victors, man. And you don't lose, you gotta learn. You gotta learn your lesson. The U.S. lesson is that they thought they could just go over there and mess with people, and people don't fight back, and people don't think they've been playing, and they got all that oil money like they ain't got bullets, like they ain't got rockets, like they ain't got all type of drones. They probably like still spending their last year drones and stuff. Man, they ain't even getting to their new this year drones. While the U.S. done spent like 100 and what it is, 100 something billion, and they asking for another 200 billion from Congress, but they ain't even formally asked permission for war yet, so they not go officially call it a war. Man, this country is built on fine print, loopholes, getting the edge, all that little BS that's been getting that them people been getting over with for years and years. Man, and all that's running its course, and it's happening and it's unfolding right before our very eyes. And us trying to bang somebody who we really want rock looking to go up against was basically negotiating peace talks when Israel busted in and jumped in Trump's ear and said, "Hey man, you know I got the Epstein files on you. You gotta roll with me. You gotta do what I say, man. You gotta go jump in this boat with me, man. We're gonna go ride around the corner right quick. You gonna go?" Trump, "Yeah, I'll go." And he went. Now the U.S. is in it. Now you can't say we ain't in it. Now them people been like, "Yeah, I've been waiting on y'all. We've been waiting on y'all." The Iron Dome ain't iron, and the U.S. go run out of money because it's gonna collapse our economy. How many more weeks of gas price rising before the whole economy crash? Come on, man. And we doing this as a favor? What kind of favors? What kind of favors that we? What type of ties do we owe to Israel to be able to go through these extreme measures to put our whole country's livelihood in jeopardy and danger, and we go and they go sell a BS to us is for freedom. It's to ensure that these people don't have no weapons of mass destruction, no nuclear bombs and stuff. And you can't even get to their country to check. What is you talking about? You can't even get over there. And now they gearing up and preparing to put Marines in harm's way. Man, it's gonna be crazy. You talking about they sending 10,000 over there. Wow. Hey, subscribe to the channel, man. Whoever you say I look like and all that, I'm that. Whatever. But subscribe to the channel and we could rock, we could kick it, and you could call me all them comparisons, but just don't call me no lame. Don't call me slow. Don't call me broke. Don't call me after it's all said and done and tell me what had happened. Call me when it's about to go down. Call me when it's going down. Call me when you need some help. But don't call me when it's all said and done. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, you call me anything else. But yeah, though, on the real, we got to accept the new future, the new norm. We don't know when the gas prices gonna go down. Just like after 9/11, the world wasn't the same. TSA jumped in the game, and now it ain't never going away. That is a before and after 9/11. I guarantee it's gonna be a before and after this Iran war on how the country is viewed on the world stage. They already been side-eyeing us forever now. But hey, we go see. We go see. But we got to come to a realization that all the stuff that they be feeding us is not true. We can't keep going for it. The best way we could be able to get rid of a lot of these elected officials that we don't have voting power with is to donate to their ops, donate to the people who they running against. If you recognizing that certain senators, certain Congress members is not serving the purpose and they have an influential voice, you got to join their ops and get them out of the decision making uh, part of the game because they don't have our country greatest interest at heart. Because regardless of what you say and what you think and what you do, all us Americans and we standing for our country and we putting our country first and we over there fighting for another country in another country, spending our money and they making our stuff go harder. Man, it's a better way to go. It's a better way to go. You could scream all that stuff if you want to, but you could recognize what's going on. Them people don't look at us. People don't look at us the same. Them people don't view us the same. We ain't the same U.S. We ain't the same. They look at us like clowns. They look at us like out of shape, lazy. Because of the people that's running, they ignorant. They they vote popular people into office instead of people who really got the country's best interests. So that person is just thinking from a business standpoint. All the business connections Donald Trump could get before he leave the White House, he gonna be able to just slide in the background and pull strings with Super PAC. MAGA go turn into a Super PAC after Trump leave the White House. That's what's gonna happen, but it's gonna fail because that's just gonna be a whole bunch of old dogs. A whole bunch of old dogs with old thinking ways that's gonna die out, and all they disciples and all they minions they go bankrupt trying to support that BS that's not working, that's making us look like a clown on the global stage when it's time to let us in the dough and let us do our thing so we can get this country back the way it's supposed to be, so we could build bridges and build relationships that's fruitful and plentiful for the people of the country, so we ain't got to be going overseas and doing all this BS to these other countries trying to be watchdog. If we weren't trying to be watchdog in other countries, this whole country could have universal health care for the whole entire population of this country. We public schools, state schools, colleges, all that should be tuition free for U.S. citizens if we are in the greatest nation. Come on, man, we're not in the greatest nation. We in a nation that's capitalist. That's man, that you got extremists. The people that's extremists that make money and have poor extremists being their minions and with the hope that they go get rich just because they align their beliefs with them and they still being poor, they daddy being poor, they granddaddy being poor, and they still be believing in the same rhetoric. That the same rhetoric that the U.S. brought to the table when they thought that they was going to bomb this country and take over this country and do this country dirty. And this country said, nah, we ain't rocking like that. We been ready for y'all. We know how y'all get down. All them little skirmishes that we had throughout these years of the history of the conflicts between these two countries, they've been studying us and studying how we move and study what we do and knowing how we think. But not all of a sudden Iran is unpredictable. They don't know the moves they go make. They doing stuff that they didn't plan for. Oh, it's like Iran cheating. You might as well come out and just say Iran cheating if you go come out and say, oh, they doing stuff that we in this war. How ain't no rules. Y'all messing with them people. Y'all should have left them alone. Bring that money in the United States and build this country up back to greatness so we could be looked at as moral leaders. We don't want to be looked at as dominating all that type of stuff because they done ran its course because people don't see us like that. That's why they scream all type of uh, stuff that I don't even want to say because I want to make my channel grow. But I want to keep the facts popping though. I ain't gonna never try to give you no BS. I ain't gonna never try to say nothing that I agree with. I mean, I ain't gonna never speak something that I don't agree with and pretend like I agree, even if I level up and go to the next level with this. I'm still just gonna be dropping what I drop, how I drop, and keep the circle small. But I believe in the day that this channel go grow though. I've been putting a lot of stuff in the background, but I'm putting me in the front now. Putting me first. Like the US supposed to put this country first. We over there in Iran with 5 different reasons that don't have nothing to do with America first, saying that we fighting. Every reason that they tried to scream that they over there bombing them people is debunked to the point where the whole MAGA base is feuding with each other and divided. They rather change the subject and talk about Drewski than focus on the fact that they've won within the MAGA operation because of the fact that Iran, whatever how you want to pronounce it, they overnight becoming a superpower. Ukraine didn't level up like that against Russia. Nah. Ukraine trying to stop from being invaded and they had the US help. You don't see no country jumping in like that to help Iran. They doing it on their own. Just them. So you gotta get them, you gotta take your hats off to them people. Them people there overnight becoming a global superpower on the mere fact of the resilience of how they are fighting back, on how they responding to the U.S. Trump gave them a deadline. They said, man, don't try me. I'm bomb some shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's a new day coming in the global world order of dominance. It ran its course with us. It is what it is. And it's going to be the conclusion of my life. And I want y'all to check me out when I go live again. And we go kick it, man. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some of my shorts. Check out some of my videos. I've been YouTubing for years. 1.